Hello, I'm Hatrix, and this is the part 3 and most likely the last part of the chain healer journey, unless I'm gonna go into hardcore raiding with this. I mean mythic ascended something, because right now it doesn't feel like much healing to be shown in dungeons right now, heroic and mythic at least. Maybe when mythic plus is out, I'm gonna take this for a spin as well. I'm gonna see how it performs. Later in this video, I'm gonna show how the healer performs in dungeon scenarios, but as said, there is currently not much stuff to heal, so it's kind of boring, I guess. And I really needed to pick up Lightning Bolt in order to have something to do during the dungeons, but we didn't get there. Spoiler alert, I guess. But we got some other crazy stuff, and right after this I'm gonna show these rolls and I guess the reactions, because well, I got freaking excited, because if you paid attention to this journey of the healer, I really wanted to get like all of the legendaries and the epics in just one fat healer build, and well, it's an understating if I didn't say that we get there and a bit more. So yeah, this healer is stacked as fuck. Oh, somebody's doing the beast, or trying to at least. So I'm gonna show the footage of some gameplay, heroic dungeons, mythic dungeons, and yeah, at the end of the video I'm also gonna be talking by suggestion about how I would have carded this in other way after I've tried it out, and I guess what my main focusing of cards to be rolling for are, like what are the best in slot talents to roll for. I'm gonna have that in the end of the video instead, as a new formatting, so stick it to the end of the video if you wanna nerd some healer stuff regarding that. So yeah, let's get into some rolls. More rerolls, 42, so we just keep spamming away. 22 ability rerolls. I guess we try burn some of those first until we get something useful. Well, that didn't take long. Holy shit. We never Searing Totem then. Or we just unlock it. Oh my god, we got kings as well. Is this cheater? Oh my, if that would have been aspect of the cheater, that would have been amazing. We're not that much of a hot healer. Holy Jesus Christ. It is goddamn lesser healing. I guess we also just remove the attack speed of. Is that Student of Mine? Oh, it's so close. Locking that in. Ooh, Revitalize. Regrowth and Rejuv. Oh, that's nice. Damn, actually a beneficial air totem. That means we can reroll this instead. Yeah. Is this perfect? Oh my god, come on. Give us aspect of the cheetah instead. Wait, what? 10 seconds to not die? I don't know. No. Wait, we're getting body and soul now? Damn, that is actually huge. Small movement speed boost basically makes up for not having aspect of cheetah. We can abuse that instead. It's not much, but it can just close the gap some time to reach the tank. No fucking way. Oh my! If we're actually getting the other nature beneficial things from this, I'm gonna. That would be insane. Buying some more rerolls for the pretty good so far living healer thingy. Gonna buy a lot, I guess. Gonna buy them all. Tons of rerolls. See if we can get the chain lightning. Probably only mostly chain bolts. Lightning bolt, holy shit. And the scaling for nature heals, I guess. The transcendent something. So let's just start chipping away on some of the less good stuff we have rolled. Shadow World. Can't recall what else we wanted to hit, but there is No fucking way. No freaking way. That is, I think, crazy. I mean, oh yeah, it's a Tidecaller's Blessing. It's not much. It's just a nice button to push for the nature heals. No way, no way. No freaking way. We don't even need the whoa. What? We're now getting the blooming growth effect each time almost. What? Because then we have the Riptide. I mean, there's no chance we're not critting now. We have 40% increased crit chance and regrowth. Are there any regrowth? So Seed of Life. Wait, what? Oh, healing with regrowth and rejuvenation. I mean, then we have to hit that. Okay, if we hit the natural synergy, that would be this big. I really want to invest some marks in. No, no way. No way, no, no, no way. No. What? What? No, 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 no. That is actually. What? No. That did not just happen. That did not just happen. Oh, what? Oh, okay, locking that in. What? And locking this in. I don't know what to say. I mean, okay, keep focus and let's roll more, I guess. Let's see if we can get the lightning bolt at least for damage, but the one legendary after the other for the lightning bolts for the damage. Hybrid heals. Also wanted to go over some of the upgrades I did on that I didn't record sadly. We got the Angelic Feather. That is a big one instead of a Powered Shield, so we were able to reroll that. We were able to pick up, I think, with Lesser Healing Wave. Yeah, Lesser Healing Wave. So we can play around with that. That's a very efficient heal and very fast heal to get some of the procs. We also were insanely lucky and got Seed of Life, and it was a shame that I didn't get my reaction because that was just as nice reaction as the Transcendent Embrace. We also picked up Elune's Guidance. This is so when I use Healing Wave. See if I get some procs. I think it's actually only in combat maybe. Let me see again. Yeah, while in combat, so it doesn't work right now. But then these stacks will go up, so I just have more stacks on being able to get insta-cast of Riptide. So sometimes when nobody's taking damage, I'm actually just spamming Healing Wave on the tank in order to get procs. So when there's finally is damage, I'm just ready to throw out tons of Riptide, and that is so strong. We got the Pendulum, very nice talent. We got Charged Tide, so when we someday get the Lightning Bolt, we're able to throw out some, I guess, insta chain heal and healing wave. That's going to be so insane. We also picked up the last point of nature's bounty, so regrowth is able to crit. We also picked up Genesis, so all of our nature heals from Druid is getting 8% more heals. This is a huge talent, especially when we got all of this stuff. We also picked up Rejuvenation, but I have to figure out where I even have space for this. I guess it's also for the tank heals when I'm tracking the huts, and I can benefit from the healing garden. So when I use chain heal as a healing wave, it extends my life rune, rejuve, and regrowth on the ally that I use it on. So I just put all my huts on, and then I just spam lesser healing wave in order to keep up all the huts. And still a shame that I didn't pick up lightning bolt at level 1. I'm still kind of bummed about that, but I just keep rerolling and see how it gets. We are also still missing some of the allow mana region to continue doing combat. These I really want to have 25% more of. We have I think we have one more. No, maybe not. We have 25 here, and we have 25 from the Mage Armor. And those are so important, so we don't have to do life tap spam that much. Okay, let's dive into some heroic dungeons. This is not live commentary, this is me commentating over some highlights. And this is the heroic dungeon. Later on I'm going to show a mythic dungeon. Here you can see that nobody is really taking any damage. We are spam healing, but it's really not necessary. This is a big reason why having something to do damage with that is not taking you out of tree form, as for example starting with lightning bolt, would have been really helpful. Here you can see we're taking and I even asked the tank for pull a bit more because it's only heroic and should be able to out heal it. This is actually the most dangerous part, because now you can see the tank is actually line of sighting me and I'm slowed. I should have gone out of tree form to remove it, but not used to the keybinds yet. The tank is luckily a very strong tank, so it doesn't take that much damage. So that is also why I talked during the roll about having stuff like Power Word Shield, Aspect of the Cheetah, in order to being able to catch up with the tank. Here I'm not paying attention, will not be the first time. And you can see people had took some damage. This is where some Riptides are coming in clutch, just putting on Riptide, using the Oracle of the Eclipse, and you getting the 2 instant Riptides to getting them tapped. And you can see here I'm basically, people are full life, but I'm just spamming a healing wave, and yeah, it's not really needed. So having some damage would be more useful for the party. Also you can see I have not macroed my keybind, so I don't have mouseover macros yet. This I will have later, and I'll also link them down in the description how I do it. This is how I heal. Helps me the most, so I can just mouse over people and heal them. Here you can see tank is actually taking a lot of damage, and you can see I don't get the regrowth off, and because I'm just so far behind now. Here Aspect of the Cheetah or any movement ability would have been so huge. I think I just forget to press the Power Word Shield or my Hand of Freedom with movement speed modifier, but that is often the name of the game. The tank is pulling very quickly, getting line of sight in dungeons, and you have to have some movement speed stuff to being able to get closer. Here you can see the party is taking a lot of damage. Here it's Wild Growth is coming in very clutch, because I can be moving but still having some heal over time on people to not to getting them topped off. Here I'm also getting punished for not having the mouse over macros. I have to click on people. It's a bit awkward. I'm also not playing this boss very well. Here you want to be further away from the boss. And Living Lightning is a bit tricky still to pull off, because sometimes you have to target people and sometimes you have to target the boss. I'm still trying to learn how to play around with it. I never really tried to play Tree of Wrath, because back in the other seasons there were just better REs. But right now I think Tree of Wrath is going to be one of the stronger legendaries to pull off, because you can do some nice hybrid healing, especially if you're getting the Living Rod stuff. Also the heroic dungeons here, I'm basically just practicing, seeing how well each of my heals are doing, like how much healing are they doing, because I have so many buttons already. I also got the Life Bloom, so many buttons to press and try out. And it's often like that when you have a nature healer, because you have to choose in what situation you and what button you have to press, because each of your heals does different stuff. So here we're getting into Mythic. Here I also have I got some of the mouse over macros. This Mythic dungeon is, we went through it pretty easily. The tank is not taking much damage, so it's a pretty easy healer job. And again, this also means that if the tank doesn't take damage, nobody in the group is probably not taking damage. And that means if you are just spamming chain heal as right now, it looks pretty cool, but you could help the party out with having some damage on the boss instead, with, for example, chain lightning bolt and living lightning and such. Trying to use it on cooldown when I remember it. Also, it's been a while since I healed in dungeon, so I'm not aware when the damage is coming out that much. Here you can see we're doing the lava skip, not very coordinated, and I think I'm gonna ass pull the pack to the right, because I thought the everyone went up the rocks, and we all did that to pull the pack. So I'm getting too close. Here we also take, I'm just storming my way and ass pulling. Don't do that. But luckily we can be on the move and pretty safe in the lava because the heals is pretty good. Most of my healing, you see I'm spamming Riptide and refreshing it, casting it again. And the Mending Tide from the legendary is just doing so much of my healing. The healing meter in dungeons, from what I've saw, has been pretty buggy. I don't think it really shows my damage. Maybe because it's overheals. So to get a better idea of the heals, I have to go into raids. Here's another example. The tank is actually taking some damage. I mean, he's not dying, but it's a hard time to try heal him because I cannot reach him. And again, this is why having some movement abilities like Aspect of the Cheetah, Power Shield with Body and Mind, Sprint, and Angelic Feather, the movement speed feather you can place on the ground, is very big. You can also see I've got the Shimmer, the Blink one. Have to get used to using that, but that is a very nice pickup in order to get close to the tank, and yeah, you're getting gap closes. Also forgotten to use my lesser beacon of light, or what is it called? Frozen light. Here's actually we're taking some damage because we're doing a kind of big pull, but yeah, the heals are very nice for the nature heals with the combination of Riptide and spamming some chain heals. Also, I want to try to set up so I can track my Riptide huts and also my life loom. This is something you should really do. Don't have such a bad UI as me. This is just before when I practice the buttons and stuff, and it's not needed. When I go into Mythic Plus and such, I always upgrade my UI in order to being sure I'm tracking everything correctly. I'm also looking for better UI than grid. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I'm very open because right now it's hard to track the debuff on players. So yeah, this was a Mythic dungeon and some dungeon showcases. So last part of the video, I'm quickly going over the talent choices, card choices for leveling, and the way, as you said in the old days, that here is the build, but now in season 9 I just can't do that anymore. I cannot just slap this on the screen and you can pick it and follow it, because it's so different what abilities and cards we are rolling each other, how good our prestige is and such. So I can only, as you say, I can teach a man how to fish and not just give him a fish. So trying to educate on what to pick and what my thought process are instead. I think that's the way to go, at least in season 9. But these are, you can do this as a template. These are some of the talents I would see as the best in slot for nature healer, somewhat. And for my situation with how I rolled it for level 1, I really should have taken Chain Lightning Bolt instead of the pet. Not much else to say. I mean, I'm rolling for Lightning Bolt now because I want to do damage in dungeons, so yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. This is the cards I use. Would I do them again? This is the exact ones I used. Skill cards, I would probably pick Living Lightning instead of Riptide, because I think it's rarer to roll an epic card and go more into the DPS route of Tree of Wrath and just roll Riptides in 1 or 3 prestige runs if I was to do this again. This would be, as I call, a semi-high roll version, so you have to roll this pretty early, like in your first set of Scroll of Fortune, and if you don't hit it, I would probably just go again, unless you hit like 2 legendaries or something instead, because it's not worth to spend so many marks to roll for one ability that is common, I guess. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is a budget version I made up. Earth Living Weapon, Nimble Mind, if you don't have the Tree of Life skill card or the Tree of Wrath. And if you don't want to go with the Living Lightning, because that's basically with the Tree of Wrath, here's some other alternatives depending on what skill cards you have. Again, I cannot just say do this, because I don't know what cards you have and what you have access to. I can only assume that you probably have some golden cards that are some of the common abilities. Else, I would really recommend that you grind to have these in golden. And if you don't have any of these, Earth Shield, Water Shield, any healer utilities in the normal card slot, I would really suggest that you grind up the Dark Moon tickets. I would suggest you watch my how I make my marks to grind it up. I make a lot of marks that way. So my talent cards, if I had it, would I pick it? The answer is I would not pick Mending Chains again. It's only 15% chain heal, and I don't think that is worth compared to what else you can pick. So instead, I would probably pick Transcendental Embrace, or my second pick, if I had it, I would pick Spreading Tides instead. Also, let me say, all of these things I have not rated with it yet. I have not done excessive amounts of testing. So this is only basically theory crafting, but also from my gut feeling and my earlier experience in Ascension. Also, it surprised me how good Mending Tides is, because I had no idea. I played it a bit in Season 8, that's it, but it's surprisingly very strong, and it was also legendary beforehand, I believe. And yeah, that is the... So I started this as a mostly chain heal build, but now instead I'm focusing on Riptide even more, especially with the Oracle of the Eclipse. And yeah, and Mastery of the Tide, so don't consume your Riptides, because the Riptide that is pretty good, even especially combined with the low tides, even if it's low. It's just the Primal Tides, the double Riptide, and yeah, it's so strong having extended Riptide, so you have room to do other stuff than spamming Riptides when you have the Riptide dots up. And Transcendental Embrace, pretty close. Overflow is just pure healing. Low Tide is basically pure crit, but we're scaling so well on the low tide that is still a top 6, and that is pretty good. As I said, sorry, Mending Chains, sorry, but that is a card I would not pick again. It's only 15% healing, and that is nice to have, not anyway close to need to have. And also Tidewaters I would probably never pick. It sounds good. I didn't pick up Healing Rain. I cannot tell, maybe it's insane. Just from what I've seen, you just have so many stuff you're able to press as a nature healer, so having to press one more thing, maybe if that one more thing, I would never pick it if I got the combo, if I just randomly hit Tidewaters, if I randomly hit Healing Rave. Yes, probably I would play it, but not anything I would try to roll for before at least I tried it. So other card option, as I said, Spreading Tides. Close second would be Lightning Rod or Rooted to the Storm if I were going more Mythic Plus route, more damage. It could even be so that these two would fit in with the Primal Tide and Mending Tides instead. Maybe even with the Overflow, because the issue with Overflow, if you don't have a melee, if no one is close, then Overflow is not that good. And it's often the case that people are too spread out and such, so Overflow is not even hitting people. So that is also a close contender to swapping out. Things I wish I rolled in my build, and if you don't have the skill cards I've shown and you just have budget options maybe, these are talents you really should consider because they're so strong. The cast speed for Tidal Waters, I really wish I had it to play around with to get some faster cast. Ancestral Awakening, if you have like close to 50% crit, this is basically a 15% more healing, and it's smart heal, so it will often you will also get the healing often. Also just 6 scaling for your main heals, chain heal, Healing Wave, and Riptide. There's so much power in one talent for Healing Wave. So, and what are the strongest talent to roll for when you are looking to prestige? And if you are like me, prestiging, using your Scrolls of Fortune, and then giving a valuation of, is this worth to keep or should I try prestige again? These are some of the talents. Do you have these? Then you are very good to go. And especially if you have many of them, meditation, any of the mana region, I guess, but meditation is one of the stronger ones because you get so much crit. And I guess you basically, it's the same amount of the crit version, so it's a close second, but meditation is one of the nicer ones. Also, the increased effectiveness of nature healings should be max rolled, of course, but if you have any of these scalings, you're just a very good set for how your build can scale when you have better gear. So in general, strong scaling talents. I didn't hit any of these, I believe, but these are also something to look out for to scale your character. Intellect scaling, as I said, my Dark Surgeon build, things that just give you raw healing power. And same goes for Spirit. I can't recall, I think there's maybe one more. But yeah, also as just examples, and you have the increased Spirit. If you don't have the Tree of Life, these talents are not very good. and this is also getting less. You get less value out of spirit, so just keep that in mind when you prioritize what gear to pick. Then it will be different for you because you don't have this talent. Yeah, and all of the MP5 in combat, so mana per 5, so how much mana can you regen during combat just passively. So these two talents actually are pretty close together, depending on how late in the season and how much spirit you have. Then the meditation can be better than Pyromaniac, but in the start, maybe 3% crit is more crit than you get from your spirit. Keep that in mind. Also, some other healer stuff to look out for. This is also something if you want to just having a cool build and having some nice procs. These are also a way you can use your cards if you have budget options and try to roll for it. This was, if you saw the part 1, this is what was I was going for. I thought it was amazingly cool that you can use a holy talent for nature. Yeah, so keep in mind if you roll any of these, keep them. I have rolled Serendipity, as you saw. I'm keeping it just if I roll any of these two. If you're rolling Healing Touch stuff, there's also incentivized to either start with Healing Touch or be on the lookout for Healing Touch stuff, because Healing Touch is almost as good as Healing Wave. And then lastly, I chose to mention Shaman Shields. If you roll the Earth Shield, you can combine it with the Earth's Blessing, 9% crit basically. And if you roll Water Shield, you get the passive mana, but you also have a chance to have the improved shield combo to get some nice mana. I think this is pretty cool, like aesthetic way of be a shaman, getting mana this way. And yeah, that's it for my part 3 of my shaman chain heal journey. I'm so in love with the build. I'm gonna keep slapping all my marks of Ascension in it, and yeah, as I said with the part 4, it's gonna be some more raids or M plus videos. It's gonna be interesting. Don't know when that will be out. Probably be not anytime soon, but subscribe to get notified when I post that. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.